8th, we have Karatu with the brand Catpus, which is a social media website for children and teens.
Hi, I'm Kara, and this is my website, Catpus. See the creativity. Every time when I publish the work I have done for a long time on the internet and hope to find people looking at my hard works, but there are no views and feedback, and this made me feel very frustrating. And this is because I'm not famous or a popular person, so no one will see the work I have made. And I know many children and teens having the same trouble. Catpus is a social media website for children and teens about 6 to 16 years old, sharing using video, picture, chat, live, and comments. Have fun with their sharing and show ideas, be creative, and every work you have been comment and will be published, it will be seen by many people, even you are not famous. Our mission, to build a safe online platform to let everyone share freely your thoughts and ideas, make things creative, share and share across the world. And it is a safe website, free to share, website that anyone can access using any device. No matter who you are, your sharing will be safe. Market research. I have found some percentage of teens using social media, and you can see in the chart there are 90% of teens using social media, and it can bring up a huge opportunity for Catpus. Competition. These are 4 main social media now most of the teens are using. They have Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, YouTube. They have features that can post video, picture, chat, live, and comment, but they all have an age limit of 13. And children that are below 13 years old also want to share online, but they are not allowed to create an account. And these are the Catpus feature and age allowed. Catpus will have every feature that many different social media have. They will have different age groups to sharing space for better sharing. And children that are below 13 years old need to register, share, and post with their parents to make sure they're safe online. Our opportunities. Other social media can be sure it is safe and can share they will protect your privacy, enhancing your sharing, and can be dangerous for children and teens that don't know how to protect their privacy. Catpus will sure to protect users' privacy. At the same time, your sharing will be seen by many other users that have in different age group for the sharing space to improve the sharing. Our website. Now the website having simple introduction and sharing space that need to register an account to share. And it is a testing stage, and sharing space is still testing and will be different looking in future. And they're having different feature coming up. The community. We're building the community across the world that people can share freely in their age group. They can share what they find interesting, teach people skill they are good at, and even share a school project that with others need an example of the same project. And we're sure to keep user privacy. If there are things that are not appropriate to share, we're sure to delete it in 24 hours. And these changes can make a safe sharing space online for everyone. Thank you.
Well, you're definitely thank you for the presentation, and I'm still digesting it. And one of the first questions I would have is, there are two questions I have. The first is, how do you think about the market opportunity here? Because the market, and you may have done surveys, is not just kids who, and it sounds like it's kids who want to access social media but may not be old enough to access social media. And I know you said 6 to 16, but honestly, if people are 13 and above can go to, to Facebook or Instagram, then it's really 6 to 13. But it's how many of them, how many of their parents will actually allow them to access social media? How many of their parents will even allow them to have phones? And that's the first step of saying, there's a ready and willing market. And it's not just a market of kids, it's a market of their parents who, there are a lot of debates on whether kids below a certain age should have access to social media at all. And if you were to launch a business opportunity, you would want to be sure that there's a large enough market of parents and kids with access to phones that you can address. There'll be a second question around what happens if Facebook wakes up one morning and decides it's okay to, allow, kids age 6 and above to use Facebook and Instagram, in which case that would create kind of a bit of a threat to your business model. And then I guess the last question would be, how do you keep it safe? You want to keep it safe, but there is generally been a question of, how do you keep it safe? And that's not an easy problem to solve. And you could argue maybe the Facebooks of the world have so much money at their disposal, they can use technology to keep it safe. But keeping it safe, especially for kids at that age group, may not be trivial. So I'm curious as to whether you thought about some of those things.
Sorry, so what's your questions for me?
The first question is, how did you think about the size of the market, especially not just kids who have access to phones, but parents who would allow their kids to use social media? Did you run any surveys? Did you speak to kids or parents, especially within that age group of 6 to 13? Because you had mentioned in your presentation that your audience is 6 to 16 years old. 13 and above, they have access to Facebook anyway, so it's really 6 to 13. But would those kids have phones? Would their parents let them use social media? Did any of your surveys, yield any insight there?
I didn't think about that much, but I think now many of the teens and the children having the screen time because they want to do something online, maybe study, because now it's online school. Some of them are still having online school, and also they're having, maybe they'll watch video or they're doing some social media like with their friends online. So I'm not really having like the service about it, but I can share many of them are using it.
And if Facebook decides to reduce their age limit, how would your business respond?
I don't think they will really do that because now they're having the politics that under their thing they can really like reject an account. And why our website do that is because they can using with their parents. And I mentioned that they need to reject an account for with below 13 years old with the parents, and to make sure they're safe online.
Got it. Okay, great.
Kara, great presentation. I love the designs, I love the thoughts, and I love the way you put it together, the color schemes, everything. So you are a UX designer for sure. So, clearly something that's very nice, beautifully put together. I also think you've gotten onto something that's a big opportunity here. After the lockdowns have happened, a lot of people have had to go online. This community of people, basically the 12, 13, 14-year-olds, they are now spending more and more time on screen, and they now need content that specifically works for them. So, not just adult content that gets repurposed for them. So I think it's a great opportunity. I also think the market is also pushing towards that opportunity. A lot of these content pieces have to be vetted very carefully. The traditional platforms like Facebook, YouTube, they go through lots of hoops to make sure that people can use them. It's very difficult for them to target this audience for obvious reasons, right? And you pointed those out. So I think all of those things work. So I think you're on to something very hot here, right? What I would say you need to think about is two things. One is really think about technology, right? So think about how this platform is going to fulfill on the promises that you're making in your last life. When you're saying these are the 4 or 5 things that I'm going to do, how is this platform going to fulfill on those, right? So that's something that you need to personally get involved in and try and create that fortress almost, right? Where you'll keep the bad guys out and the good guys in. So that's something that I think you need to think about. Think about that from one perspective. The second thing you need to think about in this ecosystem is the audience is not the only decision maker in this audience, right? So they are all led by their parents. Their parents have got a point of view on what's happening with them. They want them to be safe. So you are talking to two different groups of people. Your core target audience, the people that you want them to come to the platform, and you got another group of people who are people that can say yes or no to them to come into this platform. So these are the two different people that you need to articulate your communication to. But if you're able to get these two things right, spot on. Love the idea. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kara.